Okay, boys and girls, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a really awesome clay bowl using just a few simple things that we might see during fall. So I collected a lot of leaves from my backyard and ended up using them one day during clay, and they were great to use. The only problem was that they started to crack and peel. So I went to the store and I found a couple of other types of leaves that are made out of like just kind of a ribbon material. So we can use these and they're not going to break on us. I took my leaf from my backyard and I traced it onto a piece of really thick cardboard, and I added all of the veins in the leaf too. So we can use these as tracers. You're going to get a slab of clay that's already rolled out for you, because I did all that myself. You're going to take your leaf, whichever one you choose, because we have different kinds. If you were to take this one, for example, you would place this one vein side down. So these are the veins. That's what carries the nutrients and the water to the leaf. You're going to put that vein side down. You're going to press it in there with your fingertips. Then you're going to take a tool that looks like this. One side is really, really pointy and sharp. The other side might have a hook on it. And you're going to hold this down. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more. All you do is you hold this down and you're going to start tracing around your object. What I like to do is, after I trace around some parts of it, I kind of peel off part of that clay and I set it to the side so it's not always in my way. Make sure you're always using the correct side, and you should be holding this tool like you're holding, well, kind of similar to like you're holding a pencil, but a little bit different. Holding it straight up and down. Clean it off as you go, because it'll get gunky all over it, so just clean it off. The glazes that I bought for this project are really awesome. The way that a kiln works is, after we make our first impression, which is what we're doing right now, we have to wait 2 weeks for the clay to properly dry out. So it'll be sitting inside of my kiln room for 2 weeks drying. After that 2 weeks is up, I get to put it inside of the kiln, and I get to fire it in the kiln one time. And I'm going to give it back to you after I do that. And then you are going to glaze it in the colors that I give you. So once you get to this point and everything is traced around it, you're going to want to take this part off and just peel it off. You're going to want to look at the other side of it. I've drawn some little veins right here on this side so you can kind of see what they look like. This is the most important thing that I want kids to understand. When you take this tool and you're going to start putting in little veins here, I don't want you to go all the way down to the placemat, because that's going to ruin your whole leaf, and then it'll be very difficult for us to take it off of this placemat. Instead, I would love for you to just take your tool and just lightly etch in your vein designs. You're not going all the way down to the placemat. If you do, you're going to have to restart all over again. There's only one other thing that we need to do to make this look how we want it to, and that is we've got to take a look at the edges and make sure that they are nice and smooth. So I'm going to show you what bothers me here so far, and I'm just being really picky. Do you see how this, when I cut this out, there's like a little chunk of clay that's just sitting on top of my surface? I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to kind of wipe that out a little bit. It doesn't take long. I just call this smoothing out the wrinkles, the little elephant wrinkles that you get. So just take it in your hand, smooth it out. I'll write your name on the other side of your leaf, and I'll put a special number so I know which class you're in. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to just take an ordinary styrofoam bowl, turn it over, and we're going to drape this across the top of it. So I'm just going to push down with my hand just very gently, and what this is going to do to it is it's going to make it dry with like a little bit of an edge curled up after you take it off. I don't know if that makes any sense, but let's say 2 weeks later I come back and I take this off. Well, then my leaf is going to have upturned edges, and it'll look more realistic. So that's why we have the styrofoam bowl. It's just little tricks like this that make it look more real. Okay? And I'm going to call you up, and we might have 4 stations going, and it'll be your turn.